I think the first and foremost critical step to that process would absolutely be verifying credentials and licensing before anything else. That's one of the questions that you certainly would want to ask before you even invited somebody into your home or business. When we talk about certifications, there's really two main organizations kind of in our world and in our space, and that is the IICRC, or the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration certification, and then the other one is the RIA, or the Restoration Industry Association. Those are really two large kind of governing bodies within our space that really, that's how we hold our standards of cleaning, the methods and methodologies. And then, of course, we go to the licensing, right? We want to ensure anybody that's coming in your home or company is licensed to operate in the state or region that they're going to be operating in, and insurance. And, verify that they carry the appropriate liability insurance, verify that they carry the appropriate workers' compensation insurance. And those are certainly things that, should easily be able to be provided. Second, I think one of the things that we always look into is your assess the experience and the expertise, right? Understand how long that organization has been in business. Understand what they specialize in. Certainly, obviously, we specialize in restoration. We certainly wouldn't be going into other facets where we don't, right? So you want to make sure that they specialize that, and ask for portfolio or case studies. Try to understand what work have they done in the past. I think it's very, very important, and it's certainly any good organization is going to have a nice kind of repertoire that they can provide from a CV perspective and from a portfolio perspective. Ask questions. I think as far as the technology that's out there today, when we talk about Matterport, I'm sure many folks on this call have seen where you can do virtual walkthroughs of home tours and things of that nature. That's the type of technology that we in the restoration space utilize now, right? You're documenting ultimately the condition prior to the work starting, and then we can also utilize that same technology to document post the restoration process, right? So we want to understand what that looks like from that world. I think the other thing is, that technology, eco-friendly options exist today in our space that maybe didn't exist 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Technology is constantly changing. Ensure and ask those questions really to that organization about how do you communicate? What type of scheduling softwares are you using, so that you can kind of see, if you're not going to be living in your home while that process is taking place, what does the schedule look like? How can I virtually see where my contractor is going to be on a given day, and what stage and process should they be going through? That kind of ties along to the next part is, really the transparency and communication. To me, and that is, as we talk about, we have ATI Cares, communication is key. It is one of the single most impactful part during the restoration process. If you can't get communication, and we all struggle through various parts of our life through different things, but without communication, you simply cannot get through that process. And if a contractor, before you even selected them, isn't doing a good job of communicating, that kind of first initial indication is probably going to be what the rest of the communication is going to be. The next thing was really, understand kind of their insurance claim and process. Talk to your contractor and say, how do you work with my insurance company? What can we do as a restoration company to provide from a billing perspective, whether you are filing a claim through your insurance or not, but ask that contractor really, what is their process? How do they deal with the insurance companies? What softwares or programs do they write out of that could help expedite kind of that claim filing process for you from a restoration perspective? Ask about warranties and guarantees. Understand ultimately what are you getting when you hire that contractor, right? And it ties kind of back to that local. Having the local presence is certainly key, and we want to make sure that when that contractor leaves, that you do have those certain reassurances, especially from a local provider. And I think the last thing that I'd really like to cover is, certainly watch for red flags. Go with your gut. I think that's the thing. Unlicensed, uninsured, absolutely, right? That's an instant red flag. High pressure. sign now and we'll get you, we've got a guy in the truck on the driveway kind of thing, right? Sign now and we'll put you, don't, this is, unfortunately a little bit of a long process. So take the time to select the right partner. It's going to be a partner throughout the entire process. Make sure you get something in writing from that contractor. Make sure that you get, whether it's a scope letter or some type of estimate. We want to make sure that, you're certainly not getting an exorbitant bill at the end of it because they said, oh, we think it'll be X. And at the end of the day, it's Y. So protect yourself by having something in writing. And the last thing would be just, lack of reviews and transparency. If someone doesn't want to provide referrals, if someone doesn't want to provide an email address, website, certainly, that would be another red flag.